Hello and welcome to this EXP training video for CIMA paper E2. We're on chapter 6 of the Express Notes, and this is talking about effective operation of an organization. Quite a bit of theory in this chapter, but let's get going with it. First of all then, if you go to the bottom of page 23, we've got various theories on management. Now, a lot of this is from paper E1, but just to refresh people, we have three main categories: classical, human relations, and contingency. Now, the classical approach to theories on management really were focused around this term that man is a machine. In other words, humans were treated as really being part of the machinery, and some of the theorists behind this, Taylor, Fayol, and Weber, Max Weber. These are all older theories which basically said that man was there to do the job. Man was there to do the job of a machine. And it was almost a form of bureaucracy where they had certain specific roles they had to do. Now, the next group of theories are based around more of a human concept. And this is saying that actually people need more than pure money from their jobs. So it focuses more on the needs of people. So we have the Mayo, the Maslow, and the Hertzberg theories. The final one, the contingency, and what these theories say is that there's no one single correct approach to strategy, to these theories on management. And under here we have McGregor, Douglas McGregor, Blayton Mouton, and John Adair. And what I'd suggest you do, just go back and refresh yourself with paper E1. And maybe an easier way to do that is just to get a copy of our E1, CIMA E1 Express Notes from our website, www.theexpgroup.com. So most of these are assumed knowledge from CIMA E1. Okay, if we go down to page 33. Next page we have various bases of power. And quite an old theory, this, French and Raven. French and Raven identified 5 possible bases of power. And these are reward power, coercive, referent, expert, and legitimate. Now also, one of the ways to try to think of this is think of your boss, for example. If you have a job and you have a boss, think, does he or she have these different types of power? Reward power. Does your boss have the ability to directly influence rewards such as pay or promotions? Well, probably yes. Coercive. Can your boss use punishment such as dismissal? Referent. That means, is your boss an inspirational person? Expert. The leader has the power as a result of knowledge or expertise. Does your boss have expert power? And legitimate. This means you have a right to have power over one another due to accepted principles. For example, a policeman. But again, back to thinking about your boss. Does your boss have legitimate power? Okay, moving further down the page. We're talking a bit about delegation. Delegating work to another individual, to a junior individual to you. First of all, what are the benefits? You've got to be aware of the benefits of delegation. As we say here, one of them enables senior management to focus on more important areas because you can delegate down less important areas. Allows for development of junior staff. By delegating work to them, you can help develop, you can coach them, you can challenge them, and that will help develop them for future, maybe more advanced areas that they'll be covering. Next one, it can be motivating. It can be motivating for the junior people that have work delegated to them. And the final one I'm looking at here could possibly be better decisions made by the junior staff. By the staff that have had the items delegated to them, they may be able to make better decisions because they could be closer to the issues. Okay, so there are some clear advantages, but what are the problems? Potentially time consuming. Sometimes people say it's actually quicker to do the work themselves rather than delegate it to a junior because you've got to explain it all. So initially it could be time consuming. Ultimately though, in the longer run it tends to be more efficient. But this is maybe a short-term problem. Another potential problem, failure to undertake proper delegation, sometimes called pretend delegation. Failure to monitor the junior. And as I just mentioned a moment ago, something called pretend delegation, which is in effect a sort of form of failure to undertake proper delegation. So pretend delegation, where the manager pretends to delegate but still actually does the work himself or herself. Okay, we're going to have a quick look now at culture. Culture within an organization, within a business. One very well-known management theory, Charles Handy, theorist I should say, a management theorist, Charles Handy, he came up with the phrase, culture is the way we do things around here. Now, here are some real-life issues that will impact on culture. The size of the organization, the age, the product that is supplied, technology, the geographic diversity. Now, if we sort of combine all of these together, let's imagine a big multinational bank that has been around for 50 or 60 years. Compare the culture versus an internet startup company. So there's going to be lots of different culture for the size, the age, product that's supplied, as well as technology and the geographic diversity. And just to finish off this chapter, we've got a variety of theories on culture. Sheen. He argued that the culture of an organization is created by the first leaders, and then future leaders of the organizations basically follow the culture. So the first leaders of an organization create that culture, and then all the future leaders that come on board will follow that culture. Moving on to page 35. We've now got Charles Handy again, and he had a book, a theory on management gods, Greek gods, and he identified 4 cultural stereotypes based on Greek gods. The first one, the power culture, Zeus. This is where there's one major source of power within an organization. An advantage of that, quick decisions. A disadvantage, if you lose that central power source, there can be problems with the whole business. And as we say here, often found in small startup businesses. Next one, the role culture, or Apollo. And this is where we have an emphasis on individual roles, individual components. Emphasis on structured hierarchy, can be bureaucratic. So role culture could be found in a manufacturing company, for example, where you have various pillars of culture. So you have the production, you have the sales pillar, the role culture. Task, or Greek god Athena. Now, this is based very much around projects or teams, and this could typically be found in a consulting company where the culture is one of people getting together for projects, finishing that project and then moving on. Then we have the person culture, and this, for example, would be a golf club, a golf society, a sporting society where people get together and the whole organization exists to satisfy the needs of the individual. The last theory then we look at within chapter 6, Hofstede. Hofstede looked at culture from the international viewpoint. And he identified these 5 characteristics: power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty, long-term orientation. Now again, just refer back to CIMA E1 because this is assumed knowledge from CIMA E1, but it looks at the different international perspectives. So it's saying that individual countries have certain approaches to these 5 items. And this theory can be useful if a company is looking at expanding into a new country, just so they're aware of the culture in the country that they are expanding into. Okay, that finishes this chapter, so thank you very much for listening.